Good morning. It's about 7:15 here with Gardening with Grandpa. I'm going to give a montage of things today. Montage is just a whole bunch of things that Grandpa does during the day. One of the things that I'll be working on today is this gardening bed or a garden box. This is my neighbor's yard. I built this box for him so that he can build his own garden. I've taken these boards and hooked them together with screws, and today I'm going to finish putting these side pieces in. These side braces are stakes that will help us from having dirt press against this and warp the board, because we're going to fill this full of dirt. Grandpa's going to turn all that dirt over inside there. That means with a shovel, I'm going to reach down in there and take all that dirt and turn it over so that the ground is soft. I'll put in the rest of these stakes, and then after we turn all that dirt over, we're going to fill that box full of this dirt. This is soil, and we've got two kinds. We've got what's called topsoil, which is pretty cheap dirt, and then on top is what we would call soil. And soil is that one is all full of nutrients already inside the bags, pre-mixed. These ones don't have the nutrients, so this is called dirt. Stuff with nutrients is called soil. Well, it's not even 7:30, and we can see the sun is coming into this garden box. But see all that shade there? That's because this tree and the houses are in the way. But Grandpa has placed this box so it will get the earliest sun available. So right away in the mornings, these plants will start getting sun, and the sun will rise a little bit over that tree, and the rest of this area will be getting the sun too. And because of where this is placed, when the sun goes overhead, it's going to end up getting then blocked by that tree, but that's kind of okay. What can you do? And then the sun will come over from, and as it sets, which is the west, it will still get some more sunlight over on this box. So we're looking at about 6 hours of sun, which is pretty important for the plants. For this next job, we're going to use this shovel, which is called a spade, or a pointed shovel. See the point down here? It's real good at cutting away turf. Turf is grass. And as you can see already, Grandpa has been going to work. He does wear gloves for this because I'll be working with a wooden shaft on this shovel. But you put it in the ground, point it at the ground, step down, double step, push down, pull up and out. Step down, push and lift up. And what I'm going to do is that I've already done here is I turn the grass part down. I'll come back and cut this all up until it's nice and fine. Then we'll put our dirt on top of there, our soil on top of there. That grass will die down there under the ground, which is a good thing because it will then start to become compost, and it will actually end up feeding the plants back. So it's a good thing. I'm going to keep up on this good thing. Love you. All right, well, Grandpa's going to take a break. Thankfully, I'm not getting paid for this job. If I was getting paid, the person who is paying me is paying for my time, and he wants, obviously, that time to be used working. But I'm not doing this. I'm just doing this for my friend. So I could take a break and do other things and come back to this. And that's good for a guy like me and my age. Well, you can see that I got quite a bit of it turned over. This is called sod busting. Sod is lawn, grass. What I'm doing is busting it. I'm flipping it over. The American cowboys used to call farmers sod busters because a farmer would buy a piece of land, take the grass, turn it over, bust up the sod, and then they would plant their plants there so that we could have grain and other vegetables. Cowboys didn't like this too much because they were cowboys. They took care of cattle, and cattle eat grass. And after they get fed eating grass and nice and fat, they would take them to the market and people would buy them for their meat. Yes, cows give us meat. So whenever a cowboy came across the Sod Buster, he knew that that area wasn't going to be able to be grazed by his cattle, for free especially, and that would kind of make him upset. So that cowboys and Sod Busters, farmers, never really got along too much in the Old West as things were coming together, but they figured out a way to work it out. Sometimes that's what you got to do, figure out a way to work it out. Now it's time for a different kind of shovel. This one is a flat edge shovel. You can see it's got the wooden handle, and it almost fell out of my hands. What I'm going to do now is, after we got all these clumps of dirt, is I'm going to take this one and smush them and break them apart. You can see that this blade does better at this in a lot more area than what the pointy shovel or the spade would have done. So I'll go through this now, break all this up, just break up the clumps so that it'll be easier for roots to get through. Break up the roots from the grass that we put underneath, turned upside down, and then we'll start putting the topsoil in. Alright, so Grandpa was cutting up all the dirt clods, and while he was doing that, I think, yep, there he is. Grandpa was careful not to cut up this worm. I know, they're kind of slimy, they're kind of wiggly, but you know what? They're really good critters. They break up the dirt and the dirt clods and make it easier for water to get down into the roots of plants. Worms are our friend. Not that I want to cuddle up with one in bed. And a matter of fact, don't tell Nanny that Grandpa was playing with a worm. You know, she just hates worms. Okay, now it's time to unpack this pallet. A pallet is a wooden platform that things can be put on, and they can take a forklift truck. Mason, you know forklifts. Forks go underneath that in through here, and then the machines can lift this whole thing up in the air and drive around with it. Well, they drove it over to here, up our driveway for our neighbor, and set it down here, and they packed it all up, wrapped up nice and tight. Problem is what's on the bottom is what we want to put in first, and what's on top goes in last. Oh well, we'll get it done. Boy, I sure could use some grandchildren's help. I'm still working though, it's all good. I got that dirt all chopped up that was under there, and now I'm putting on that topsoil, kind of doing the same thing we did with the plants, except we're not going to worry about drainage on the bottom of those pots, because this is going to drain right into the ground, which is a great thing. You can see all the bags I've already emptied and filled in here. What Grandpa does is he lays out his bags, and then he uses a razor and he cuts this down at the bottom so it's easy to come out, two on the side, and then he can just flip and shake, and it's all out. No waste. I can throw that bag away. Well, I got quite a few more to do. Talk to you later. Okay, now the hoe. This is a garden hoe. See how it's got a flat blade like that? See how it's got its handle, and it's used like that so you can pull dirt around, or sideways you can hoe. You can dig into the ground and it'll help make little hills. We call them hoes. And so that's what it is. But I'm going to use it here now to take this dirt and break up all the clumps and then spread it around. And I have a couple more bags, but I want to get it kind of evened out, a little bit more level even right now. It's going to rain tomorrow, and that'll help everything settle in. Then we'll put in the top soil, the good soil. Then maybe we'll do it today. I don't know. Okay, we're on the final step of the garden bed. I'm finishing off putting this raised bed potting mix. Remember, this is the stuff that's got all the good nutrients for the plants, and I put that on last. And you can see I've gone ahead and spread it all around. It's a little clumpy because it comes in those bags. The bags get a little compressed. Remember that word, when things get pushed tight together? When they pack it and they get shipped. So there's a few dirt clods or clumps in that. I've taken my my hoe and spreading it all out and breaking up some of these. It's no real big deal. The other thing that's inside this soil is peat moss. Peat moss creates air gaps. It helps the dirt from clumping up. And even with it's about ready to rain here now, that rain will help break it down. You can see that it looks like I put more in than it needs. Well, it will compress when the rain comes in, and it'll fit right into that box. I think it's almost perfect. Planting comes tomorrow, so there's probably another video coming on when we plant. Well, until then, once again, I love you all. We miss you, and hope to see you again. Oh look, they've all come to say goodbye to you. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon. Don't be chicken.